Welcome back, everybody, to the Cleveland Guardians franchise here on MLB The Show 22. We're nearing the halfway point of season number 1, and as we sort of expected, we're not a good team, but we're not a bad team. We are exactly 500 at 36-36, and we certainly want to get that winning percentage up here for the next few weeks going into the All-Star break as we try to assess what we need to do here during the trade deadline, which is going to be here before we know it. We are going to simulate about 3 weeks of action today, along with 2 games that will be played. Going to get close to All-Star Weekend, which will be pretty soon. I do want to take a look at the standings real quick, just get a gauge for the rest of the major leagues. Obviously, we are third in the AL Central with the White Sox and Tigers ahead of us. The American League East is headlined by the Blue Jays and Yankees, separated by 2.5 games. And then in the West, the Astros hold a close lead over Oakland, Seattle, and Los Angeles. We are currently a game and a half back of the second wild card spot, so we are certainly right in the thick of things as of now in the wild card race. The National League is a lot more top-heavy. You have the Phillies, who lead the East pretty big. The Reds, who have won 8 in a row, lead the Central. The Cubs led the Central for most of the year, but they are in free-fall mode. And then the Dodgers are the Dodgers, although they've lost 2 in a row to us. Currently, the Padres hold the number 1 wild card spot convincingly. The Cardinals, meanwhile, have number 2. So I do have a small little trade today. It's not a big deal, but it is a deal nonetheless, and it's going to be with the Washington Nationals. We're going to be sending away Bryan Shaw, a 34-year-old reliever who is on our Major League team, and although he hasn't been fantastic this season, he's been a reliable guy over the past decade and was good last season in 2021, and I still think there is some value with him. He's only pitched in 7 innings, so it is a small sample size, and maybe he can improve in Washington. Catcher Michael Amididis is also headed to the Nationals in exchange for a couple of prospects. 23-year-old reliever Joan Adon is going to headline the deal, coming from the Dominican Republic. He pitched in 1 game last year and was pretty solid in the big leagues. He is on Washington's 40-man roster, and I think the logic with this trade is they want to get him off the 40-man because I guess they don't really see him as a big piece of their future, whereas I believe he can be a solid piece in our future going forward. We're also getting first base prospect Brendan Bossier. I hope I said his name right. 22 years old from California, good contact hitter, good defender. So I think it's a fair trade for us. We're trading away a catching prospect who we don't really need and an old reliever on an expiring contract for 2 pretty good prospects in Joan Adon and Brendan Bossier. So replacing Bryan Shaw on the big league roster will be Logan Allen. He's gotten some big league stints in the past. Hasn't been all that good, but we'll see what he can do here in 2022. Other than that, we're not going to make any other changes to the lineup, and overall, it's been a pretty good month of June, of course, led by the mid-season resurgence of Steven Kwan, who is hitting nearly 500 through about 60 at-bats, which isn't a huge sample size, but it's not like he's only played a couple of games. Of course, Kwan hit a game-clinching home run in the last episode as well in that first win over the Dodgers. So we're going to simulate past this Minnesota series. I wanted to play against Boston because they're a pretty fun team. They're about as good as us. We get an offer here from the Pirates, Ben Gamel for Nolan Jones. That seems like an easy no. As we get closer to the trade deadline, we're going to get more and more deals coming in. We ended up winning 1 of 3 against Minnesota, but we did have a great complete game shutout from Cal Quantrill. This pitching matchup between Shane Bieber and Chris Sale really enticed me, but we've used Bieber a number of times this season, and I want to pitch with Aaron Savale because he's been better than Bieber has this year, so I simulated the first game. We ended up losing 6-1. Something I found interesting here, within the past 3 weeks, since our June 4th win against the Orioles, other than the game that we scored 8 runs and allowed 16 against Colorado, the most amount of runs we've scored in that span is 5. That is unacceptable. 5 runs is our most within a 3-week span, other than the one time we allowed 16 runs. Our offense continues to be a train wreck this year outside of Jose Ramirez and I guess now Steven Kwan. We're tied for 28th in runs this year with Baltimore. Only the Pittsburgh Pirates are below us. So our offense has just been an utter disaster, and hopefully we can get things back on track here today at home against the Boston Red Sox, who are pretty much the same talent level as us for the most part, at least record-wise. We're 37-39, they're 36-40. This could be a big game for wildcard implications as the AL wildcard race doesn't look all that impressive. The National League has been a lot better than the AL this year for what it's worth, and it seems like all of these teams in the AL super bunched together, including us and Boston. So here's Aaron Savale, who has been Cleveland's best pitcher this year, even better than Shane Bieber. Savale has a 3.33, Illuminati confirmed, ERA this season with a 1.18 whip. He did miss some time with, I believe, a concussion earlier in the season, but he has been overall a steady rock for us in the rotation. Here's Xander Bogaerts with 2 away, having a phenomenal season for the Sox. Grounds it to third. Good play by Jose Ramirez to get the out. Both Bogaerts and Ramirez among the top of their positions in All-Star votes. Who knows? Maybe that'll be the right side of the American League infield in the All-Star game. Tanner Houck on the mound here for Boston. He's been okay this year, pretty much about average. Not bad, not good, just average. 4.24 ERA, 1.4 whip. So here's Stephen Kwan up to the plate. He has, of course, taken the major leagues by storm since his debut in early June. He draws a walk on the low fastball, so Kwan is aboard with 1 away. We'll see if Cleveland can drive him in now. 2 gone here for Franmil Reyes. He goes down looking on the 4-seam fastball. That pitch looked like it was out of the zone, and it was a full count as well, but Reyes is not going to swing the bat, and the Red Sox make it through the first inning here in a dreary Friday evening in Cleveland as Rafael Devers opens up the second with a walk. Both teams really not swinging the bat here early. A very disciplined approach. That's going to continue here as JD Martinez goes down looking on the outside cutter. Savale overall looking pretty impressive here as he now faces off against Bobby Dalbec, who goes down on the outside slider. Nice pitch there for Aaron Savale with 2 scoreless innings. We'll see if Cleveland can start the offense flowing here in the bottom of the second as neither team has even gotten a base hit up to this point. Josh Naylor opens things up, hitting right around 250 on the year. He strikes out on the inside slider. Both teams are really struggling to even put the bat on the ball at the moment. Bobby Bradley is now up. If anyone's going to strike out, it would be him, but he draws a walk. Good at bat there for Bradley, who is now aboard with 2 away. That'll bring up Austin Hedges. So I feel like he's had a really underrated season. Could have a lot of value at the trade deadline as he hits this ball high and deep and gone. 2-run homer for Austin Hedges, and the Cleveland Guardians are on the board. Hedges with his 5th home run of the season, and Cleveland is up ahead early 2-0. Big swing there for Hedges. That's the first base hit of the game for either team as he's going to drive himself and Bobby Bradley across as we move to the 3rd. Red Sox without a base hit until that single into center field from Jarren Duran, one of the better prospects in the Boston organization. He's not had a great season, however, barely hitting around 200. That'll bring up Trevor Story with 1 away, the following batter, and the $140 million man singles it into left field. So the Sox have 2 runners aboard here. Now it seems like Boston is starting to figure some things out at the plate. We'll see if they can possibly look to capitalize as that brings up Xander Bogaerts. Grounds it to second. Ahmed Rosario with a great play, but he's unable to get it to first in time. So now the bases are loaded. What an opportunity for Boston. Arguably their most talented hitter, Rafael Devers, is up to bat. And Devers is going to pop this one into right center. Miles Straw is under it. So the Red Sox leave the bases loaded. Aaron Savale gets out of the jam with no harm done. And the Sox remain off the scoreboard as the Guardians still lead this game 2-0. Josh Naylor up, full count, 2 away here in the bottom of the 3rd. Hits it high and deep into straightaway center field. It's caught. Very anticlimactic there. That one looked like it had a chance to go over the fence, but Duran is able to get under it. 2-0 through 3. We advance to the 4th now as JD Martinez goes down on the fastball. Outside of that pretty rough 3rd inning, Savale is really looking good today. 3 very strong innings of him, and obviously that 3rd inning where things could have gone bad. And then Rosario leads off the 4th with a single as Jarren Duran makes a good effort there, but is unable to make the play. 1 away now for Austin Hedges. That one bonks off of the glove of Bogaerts. The first baseman, Dalbec, gets to it, but he cannot get the runner out at first in time. So it'll be a base hit for Austin Hedges, who's now 2 for 2 today. And now that brings runners on the corners here. 2 away for Miles Straw, who hits this one nicely into left center field. That one bounces in front of the wall. 1 run scores. Hedges maybe could have scored if he wasn't so slow. But nonetheless, it's an RBI double for Miles Straw, and the Cleveland Guardians are now up ahead 3-0. We move to the 5th inning, still a 3-0 ball game as Jarren Duran rips his 2nd base hit of the game into the left center gap, rounding first, headed to 2nd, and the speedy outfielder is aboard in scoring position with 1 away. We'll see if Boston can finally get on the board here, as that will bring up Xander Bogaerts. He's going to rip this one into center field with 2-1 and 2 out for a base hit. Duran headed home. Straw's not going to send it to the plate. He throws it to 3rd. So the Red Sox are finally on the board with an RBI single by Xander Bogaerts, and it's now 3-1. Rafael Devers draws a walk on the high slider, and the bases are again loaded. Savale's pitch count is starting to creep up, but Cleveland keeps him in the game. What a play at first by Naylor. That probably just saved 2 runs from scoring. An awesome defensive play there by Josh Naylor, preventing the base hit. And again, I think 2 would have scored had that gotten by him. An unbelievable diving play at first by Josh Naylor, who usually doesn't play first. But Bobby Bradley is DHing today. Franmil Reyes is playing in the outfield. So because of that, Naylor plays first. And I guess that decision proved to be a good one. Speaking of Josh Naylor, he's up in the bottom of the 5th, continuing his very solid day with a single into right field. Josh Naylor's had a big 5th inning. Saved a couple runs from being scored in the top half of the inning. Now the base hit in the bottom half of the inning. It's worth mentioning that Matt Strahm is in the game here for Boston. He was entered in the game early in the inning as he faces off against Ahmed Rosario, who hits that one off the wall. Rosario rounding second, headed to third, and that'll be an RBI triple as the runner scores from first, and Rosario will put Cleveland ahead 4-1 with his 4th triple of the season amongst the American League lead. We go to the 6th inning. It's Trevor Stephan in for Cleveland. Stephan's had a fairly good season. He's had some good stretches. He's had some bad stretches. Currently in a bad stretch, but hopefully he can get it together as Reyes is unable to make the diving play. Looks like that'll be a 2-out double here for the Sox as they have a runner in scoring position looking to get back into this ball game. Big double for Kike Hernandez as that'll bring up Duran, who swings and misses on the inside slider. Good job by Stephan to get out of the inning as the score remains 6-1 with the bottom set of the order due up for Cleveland. Let's start with the catcher, Austin Hedges. He's had a nice day today. 2 for 2, including a 2-run homer as he sends that full count pitch high and deep in the left center field. Duran tracks it down, but he cannot get to it. It's a home run for Austin Hedges. 6th of the season, 2nd of the game. And if Cleveland does struggle here for the next couple of months, as I said, Austin Hedges could be a really good trade piece. That'll put Cleveland ahead now 5-1. A great swing there for Hedges, continuing his career year at the plate, celebrating with Andres Jimenez. Jimenez is due up here, 1 for 2 with a base hit, looking to possibly add another one as he's going to go Apo Taco in the left field, possibly for extra bases because Jimenez has some wheels. It'll be a double with still nobody out, by the way. And now the speedy Jimenez is in scoring position, and the Guardians are going to look to extend this lead even further. Miles Straw gets plunked on the leg, so Straw is aboard, and the first 3 batters reach safely for the Guardians. One away now for Jose Ramirez. He's had a pretty quiet day, 0 for 3, but this one will go into center field for a base hit. Ramirez is going to be out here, it looks like, trying to be aggressive going to second, but it doesn't really matter because Andres Jimenez scores. Miles Straw is safe at third, and it's now 6-1. From there, Matt Strahm will be taken out of the game, and he will be replaced by Darwinzion Hernandez. He faces off against Franmil Reyes, 0 for 3, pops it up into the shallow infield, and it will be caught by Bobby Dahlbeck. A good inning, though, as Cleveland scores 2 off the home run by Hedges, and the RBI single by Jose Ramirez. Logan Allen is in here for Cleveland in the 7th inning. He has a 16.2 ERA, not looking all that spectacular, as with 1 away, he faces off against Alex Verdugo, who hits this one nicely into right field. It looks like that ought to be a double for Verdugo, and Boston has a runner in scoring position as they try to get back into this game down by 5 with only a couple innings to go. Now with Verdugo on third, it's Rafael Devers who hits it high and deep into right field. Reyes back at the track, at the wall. See ya. It's gone. A 2-run homer for Rafael Devers, and the Red Sox have it within 3. Devers with his 12th home run of the season. He hasn't played as well as he did last year, but Devers still having a solid campaign. As we go to the bottom half of the inning, Ahmed Rosario with another base hit. Rosario's hit off lefties really well this season. Even though Rosario's been a little bit inconsistent throughout the year, he's hitting over 300 against lefties, adding another one to his total on the double. Now it's Austin Hedges, 3 for 3 with 2 home runs. This one also has a chance to possibly go over the fence, but it's caught in right. Would have been Hedges' 3rd home run of the game. Still a career day for him, but what could have been? We go to the 8th inning. Kike Hernandez leads it off as it goes into foul territory. Reyes chasing after it, and he makes the catch! Franmil Reyes, who says he can't play defense? Reyes is usually the designated hitter, but he got the start, and right today, making the most of it with an unbelievable catch, albeit it would have been a foul ball because it wasn't in fair play, but still, that was an awesome catch. We move to the 9th inning now. The all-star closer, Emmanuel Clase, is in for the save. 21 of 23 in save opportunities this season. Put simply, he's been one of the best relievers in baseball as he gets Rafael Devers to go down looking on the 99-mile-an-hour cutter. That'll bring up J.D. Martinez. He gets fooled by the 98-mile-an-hour cutter low and away as the Cleveland Guardians take this one home 6-3. Quality win here for Cleveland. Aaron Savale had a nice start, 5 innings, only allowing 1 run. The offense was pretty good, led by an really unexpected hero with Austin Hedges having a career day, 2 home runs. He went 3 for 4, driving in 3 of his own. Boston didn't hit the ball terribly, 3 runs, 11 hits. They just did not capitalize with runners on base as they had the bases loaded at least once in this game. As for us, 6 runs, 12 hits. The offense was quite solid. The pitching was quite solid as well. Overall, a good win. Nothing spectacular, but a good team win. All facets of the game were solid. So we're now 38-39. We're going to simulate past this Yankees series, and we would go 500 in that little stretch. We started off well, but we ended up getting swept by New York. So that'll bring us to this July 4th matchup against the Tigers. I know I've used Shane Bieber a lot, but it is the 4th of July. I figured it would be fun to play with us on a holiday on national television, might I add. I don't really know how many people are watching an AL Central baseball game at 1:30 in the afternoon on the 4th of July, but for those who are, we do get to be nationally televised in front of the whole world. So that adds some pressure against a really good Tigers team whose rebuild is completely over. They are currently one of the wild card teams in the American League. They're really good, but they're going to be without Javier Baez today, who is injured. So that certainly is a pretty big blow to them. They're going to be starting their ace, Eduardo Rodriguez, the $80 million man who's been worth every penny so far. 3.35 ERA, 1.35 whip. He's been overall a really, really good pickup for Detroit, coming from the Boston Red Sox, who, of course, we played earlier today. And then Rosario with 1 away. Hits that one nicely into left field. I told you Rosario hits lefties well. Going to try to leg this one into a double. A 1-out extra base hit for the speedy Ahmed Rosario. And with the meat and potatoes of lineup due up for Cleveland, they have a good opportunity to drive them in. Rosario now at third here for Franmil Reyes, who pops it up to shortstop, and it will be caught, it looks like, for the 3rd out of the inning by the Tigers. So Detroit gets through the top of the 1st inning without too much issue. We move to the bottom of the 1st. Got to look at Shane Bieber, who hasn't pitched up to expectations this year, but the past month or so, Bieber has really looked like himself. He's had a great month of June. We'll see if he can carry that over here to his first start of July. Victor Reyes leads the game off. He strikes out on the slider. Reyes, a big 6'5" contact-hitting outfielder, will be retired there. That'll bring up Spencer Torkelson up to the plate. He's going to ground this one to second. Jimenez slow to it, but he does get the 3rd out of the inning. Torkelson's rookie season really started off slow, but he has had a great month of June, really picking it up, but not on that at bat. Bottom of the 2nd inning now, Jonathan Schoop leads the inning off for Detroit, gets that one into right field. Kwan cannot make the diving play. That'll be a double for the Curacan second baseman. And now the Tigers have a runner in scoring position with nobody out and a great opportunity to drive him in. That'll bring up the #1 prospect in baseball, Riley Green, who just recently got called up at the beginning of the month. Flies it into right, caught by Kwan. Jonathan Schoop headed home. Good throw by Kwan, but it's not quite in time. So the Tigers are across, and Detroit is on the board first off of the sacrifice fly by Green. That'll bring up Jeimer Candelario to the plate, and he's going to rip this one down the first base line and fair, possibly for an extra base hit, rounding first, headed to second, and the throw will not be in time. A 2-out double for Candelario, and the Tigers' offense is really getting something good going in this inning. Unfortunately for them, however, there was 2 outs. They're not really able to do anything as Willie Castro grounds it to first base. Bobby Bradley makes the play. Not a bad inning, though, for Detroit as they do drive in a run, and they lead this game 1-0. We move to the 3rd inning. It's Andres Jimenez up for the Guardians. He's going to get that one over the glove of Willie Castro for likely an extra base hit. Rounding first, headed to second. The outfielder slow to make the play, so Jimenez is headed to 3rd, and the throw is in time! Great play by Detroit to gun him down. It was Akil Baddoo in left who gets to the cutoff man. An unbelievably close play at 3rd. I don't blame the third base coach for sending Jimenez because it looked like he was going to be safe, but the Tigers were able to get that ball out within the nick of time and tag him. So we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It remains 1-0 as Victor Reyes singles it into center field, so Reyes is aboard. And the Tigers had themselves a little base runner here, as that'll bring up the number 2 hitter, Robbie Grossman, who goes down looking on the 4-seam fastball with some choice words for the umpire. And now that'll bring up Torkelson, the former number 1 pick, who grounds it to third. Ramirez goes to second. Reyes is safe, but luckily the Guardians do get the out at first. Cleveland only needed to get one out there, and I guess Ramirez thought the easier out would be at second, which obviously wasn't true. But Cleveland still gets out of the inning. That's really all that matters. We move to the 4th inning now. 2 away here for Franmil Reyes. Belts this one into right field. That'll drop for an extra base hit. Reyes on his horse headed to second, and Cleveland has a runner in scoring position. The Guardians have gotten 3 hits today, all of which have been doubles, which is kind of interesting. That'll bring up Miles Straw. He swings and misses at the low circle change. Not the pitch you want to be swinging at there, especially with 2 outs and 2 strikes and a runner in scoring position. 4 scoreless for Eduardo Rodriguez as we move to the bottom half of the inning. Jonathan Scope leads it for Detroit. He will reach base for a second time today, drawing a walk on the high slider. Now with 1 away, it's Riley Green up to bat, only hitting .200 on the season as he draws a walk. Productive start to the day for Green, a sac fly and a walk, so he is now aboard here for Candelario, who grounds this one to second. Jimenez to Rosario to Bradley. And the Guardians turn the double play. Good job by Shane Bieber and company to get out of the jam. Through 4 innings, the game remains 1-0. We move to the 6th inning now. There's been pretty much no offense as of recently. Cleveland's offense is struggling. Detroit's offense is struggling as Ahmed Rosario flies it into right. Caught for the 3rd out of the inning by Robbie Grossman. 6 scoreless frames for Eduardo Rodriguez, who is dominating. The Guardians still with only 3 base hits today. We move to the bottom half of the inning with 2 away. It's Jonathan Scope who singles it into center. Scope has had a good game, 2 for 2 with a pair of base hits. He also drew a walk earlier, but outside of him, it's been tough sledding for the Tigers offense today. Shane Bieber is really pitching well as he gets Akil Yabba-Dabba-Doo to fly out to right. It's caught by Stephen Kwan. No score change here since the 2nd inning as it remains 1-0 in favor of the Tigers. We'll see if Cleveland can get anything going here in the 7th as it's Franmil Reyes up with a full count. It's this ball high and pretty deep into center field. Reyes tries to get to it. He cannot. Franmil Reyes with his 2nd double of the game. The Guardians have a runner in scoring position with 1 out. Could this be where they finally drive in a run? With 2 away now, it's Bobby Bradley up to bat. Bradley's really struggled against lefties as he pops this one to shallow left field, slams his bat in frustration as it's caught by Willie Castro. Make it 7 scoreless innings for Eduardo Rodriguez, who has got to be feeling himself here on the nation's birthday. Jeimer Candelario here in the bottom of the 7th, grounds it into right field. What a play, though, by Andres Jimenez to ground it down. Great play by Jimenez, preventing a base hit. Shane Bieber is still cruising right along as he gets Willie Castro to line it to third, caught by Jose Ramirez. Through 7 innings, it's still 1-0. Neither team has gone to their bullpen yet. Both starters are still in the game, and there's no reason to suggest that there's going to be any pitching substitutions here in the 8th inning unless these offenses get their act together. Austin Hedges swings and misses late on the sinker, and Cleveland continuing to get nothing going at the plate. That'll bring up Josh Naylor up to bat, lines this one into left center. That'll go for a base hit. That's Cleveland's 5th hit of the day. Their first 4 hits, interestingly enough, were all doubles. So this is the first non-double that has gone for a hit. Andres Jimenez is now up. Skies this one into right center field. Go ball, go! That one will fall off the wall as the center fielder Reyes cannot get it. A ground rule double for Jimenez, and the Guardians now the pair of runners in scoring position as it looks like A.J. Hinch is going to come out, take Eduardo Rodriguez out of the game. 7 1/3 innings for Erod. He was fantastic in today's game, has not allowed a run yet. We'll see if either of these 2 base runners score against Tyler Wells, who the Tigers just acquired from Baltimore. This is actually Wells' Tiger debut, which is interesting after 19 games this season with the Orioles. It's Stephen Kwan who grounds it to short. Castro gets the play at first, but the Guardians do drive in a run. That's Naylor who is safe at home, and Cleveland is finally on the board. Thank God, as it's now 1-1. It'll stay 1-1 here with Ahmed Rosario grounding out to first. I don't know why he slid. I was trying to have the runner at home slide, but whatever. It is what it is. Tied at 1 here. The Guardians are finally on the board. We'll see if Shane Bieber can keep things going here in the bottom of the 8th as he's had 108 pitches, showing no signs of slowing down. A 1-2-3 there for Bieber, finished off by a ground out by Robbie Grossman. with just 1 inning to go. This game is tied up. Could we head to extra innings here on the 4th of July, or will somebody break through here in the 9th inning? Jose Ramirez swinging this on the fastball. Ramirez has not done a whole lot in this ball game as Tyler Wells will K him down. That'll bring up Miles Straw. Also a quiet game for him. 0 for 3. Grounds this one to short. Castro makes the play. Another scoreless inning there for the Guardians. So now best case for Cleveland is extra innings. Interestingly enough, the Guardians are going to stick with Shane Bieber here in the bottom of the 9th. I guess Cleveland's logic is why not stick with the hot hand even though he has got to be getting tired. With 1 out, Jonathan Schoop singles it into left field. Shout out to Schoop. 3 for 3 today. He has gotten on base in every single one of the bats. The problem is nobody else for the Tigers has done any good offensively as Baddoo nearly grounds into a double play. He is safe at first, so it'll be a fielder's choice. So now Baddoo is at first. 2 away here for Riley Green, who grounds it to Bradley, who tags the base. And through 9 innings, we do not have a winner. This game is going to extra innings. This is the first game that I have personally played in this series that has gone to extra innings. So that's kind of cool. Free baseball. Tyler Alexander is in for the Tigers, the lefty, who's had a really strong season with an ERA at 1.9. He faces off against the pinch hitter, Oscar Mercado. He checks in for Bobby Bradley, and Mercado goes down looking on the cutter. Nice pitch there for Alexander. Keep in mind with the extra innings rule, there's a runner on second. That's the speedy Miles Straw. With 2 away, it's Josh Naylor who hits it into shallow left center, and it'll drop for a hit. Now, interestingly enough, the Guardians are not going to send Miles Straw home. Interesting decision. I guess they trust Andres Jimenez to come up clutch. And I guess their instincts were correct as Jimenez gets to go into left center field. 1 run scores. Naylor headed home. A 2-run triple for Andres Jimenez. And the Cleveland Guardians lead this game 3-1. The Guardians' first lead of the game, and it really could not have come at a better time. A huge triple for Jimenez as Michael Fulmer is now into the game here for Detroit. Just looking at it to get out of the inning unscathed as he faces off against Stephen Kwan. 0 for 4, but he did drive in a run earlier today. This one is going to be popped into left field. Should be caught by Akil Baddoo, and it will. A productive 10th inning here for the Guardians as they score 2. But keep in mind, just like us, the Tigers open up the inning with a runner on base. With 2 away, it's Tucker Barnhart who lines this one into left. Naylor could have made a diving play for it, but he chooses to play it safe instead. It'll be an RBI single for Barnhart. I do think it's worth noting, Shane Bieber still in the game. The Guardians are going to keep him in here even after the RBI single as he faces off against Reyes. That was nearly strike 3, an unlucky call. Bieber completely out of energy now at 136 pitches. This is 137, goes down looking, and the Guardians win it in extra innings 3-2 with a historic 10-inning performance from Shane Bieber. He is just the 6th pitcher in the 21st century to throw at least 10 innings in a game. The last to do it was Cliff Lee over a decade ago in 2012. Along with Cliff Lee and Shane Bieber, the only other starting pitchers to throw at least 10 innings in a game since 2000 are Aaron Harang, Mark Mulder, and the late, great Roy Halladay, who did it twice, ironically both times, against the Detroit Tigers. The only other starting pitcher who's thrown at least 9 innings in a game since 2000 is good old big sexy Bartolo Colon. So shout out to Shane Bieber here. The Shane train is in full force. Bieber fever is back in action, and I feel kind of bad for Eduardo Rodriguez because he pitched a total gem today, and it's going to go completely forgotten because of the historic performance here by Shane Bieber, throwing 10 innings, the first to do it in a decade. We're going to simulate these next 5 games, 2 against Detroit, 3 against the Royals, and then that'll wrap up today's episode. As I said, we're going to continue to get some more trade offers here. This one for the Reds, it's Jake Fraley for Tyler Freeman, and I think trading away one of these young shortstops could be an interesting idea because we have so many of them. This trade offer in specific, however, I'm not overly interested in. I really think Tyler Freeman's had a great year, and I feel like that'd be a bad deal. This one from the Red Sox would trade as Christian Arroyo in exchange for Carlos Vargas. I think Vargas is a better piece long term, so again, I'm not overly interested. We would go 2-3 in that stretch, alternating wins and losses, putting us at 45-46 with 2 series left to go before the All-Star break. Along with these final two series, we're going to talk about international free agency in the next episode, which is where the subscriber-made players by you guys are going to be entered in as minor league prospects, joining teams around the major leagues. If you want to make an international free agent for year number 2, make sure to go join my Discord server. The link is in the description. Hope everybody enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Peace out.